Well, welcome to Mrs. Best Reviews. Apologies for the ghetto countdown. We are having some issues with tech today. Watch your mouth reviews, y'all. He's in a hurricane.
Right in the middle of a hurricane, y'all.
And they are also working. I have Comcast, and they're working to give us fiber, faster internet for the city that I live in. So if the internet is in and out, apologies. I'm
Right.
also hungover. I had a birthday. It was a Thug's Day. You feel me? So I am hungover. So I'm going to have these
Now, let me
glasses on.
copy this link real quick just in case I got to come out and come back in.
Right. Anywho, I appreciate those for watching. Today, we are here to discuss the new Bravo show, Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. This is season 1, episode 3.
Yep.
Overall, for the episode, we'll just jump right into it. Overall, for the episode, if you had to rate it on a scale of like 1 to 10, 10 being the bestest episode you've ever watched in your life, how would you rate it, James?
3.
Oh. Okay, you have given it a 3. Honestly, I thought the episode was more interesting than previous episodes that we have seen. However, more interesting was like slightly more interesting. This was not, I didn't understand what they did. So let me just first get into it. We will begin with Amir, since that's where the episode started off, with his argument with the person who no longer exists in the home. Right. I can't remember. What is this man's name? Phil. I don't know why I keep wanting to call him Jason. He's not there yet. He and his issue with Phil. I personally felt like, just because I feel like it's not much to discuss there, I understood Amir and had a feeling, not because of his childhood and being bullied and things like that, that he might have like a different or more emotional reaction to seeing that. But at the same time, grown-ass men usually should be able to stand up for themselves, and I'm a firm believer in minding your business if it don't have nothing to do with you. It didn't really have anything to do with him.
It didn't have nothing to do with him, but I understood like the energy of what it was. To me, it just seemed like he wanted to jump in because nobody else was. Everybody else was just letting Phil go on his rant. And this kind of made me mad at Bria, because even though she explained that was it her that said she said, or was it, why do I call this girl Simone? What is Shanice? I want to call her, she looks like a Simone to me. Every time I look, she looks like a Simone to me. Shanice. Every time, it was either her or Shanice that said they never seen Phil acting this way, and I call bullshit. Sorry, I'm not watching my mouth, y'all. Sorry. If y'all thought I was going to watch my mouth, no. Because to me, and as I said, I was so disappointed at seeing this black man act as belligerent in this house full of black people. And one thought it was okay to use the bathroom and not flush it in someone else's bathroom just because that was quote unquote your room. Sir, you are a guest on someone else's trip. Did you forget? I don't care.
Bria is the person who was supposed to save that room for him with some sort of note, but she's also a guest of.
She's a guest. You can't reserve no room in nobody else's Airbnb just because you want to make sure you call dibs. This is not kindergarten. Like, what are we? He annoyed me for so many different reasons. I was so glad that the house voted him out.
So my thing is, I felt like it was good that he was voted out, because looking at him, he doesn't blend with the other men. He didn't really blend with the cast. He's hella funny. I will say that, because I was cracking up. We'll get to that when Jordan was talking to him. He was just sitting there like, I was cracking up. But I'll get to that issue with the house. Personally, I felt like with that issue with the house, I have a lot of opinions. We'll save that for last. As for Amir, back to him with that situation, he did do too much with Phil. And I was cracking up with my husband looking at it, because we were both like, Phil handled it the way we thought he would. Like, boy, sit down. You know you ain't about to do nothing. Yeah, I like.
To me, and this goes back to what I said on our first recap, Amir, so far he's not doing it yet, but I feel like there's a disconnect with him and African American, where he probably was told or probably exude that the Lebanese side was going to be better to be aligned with than the black side.
Hmm.
And to me, him getting involved with that kind of showcased almost that implement that I said, because it was the way he said, this little ass will get your big ass. And
Yeah, that was
I
personal.
was like, okay, like where did that come
I
from?
said
Like,
to
yeah,
my husband as soon as he did that, because I'm married to a shorter man. My husband's 5'2", I believe. And I looked at my husband, I was like, no, this nigga got short man's complex, because it was just this.
absolutely.
My dude is shorter too, but I believe some short men are confident in themselves. They're just like, I didn't choose this. I was born. This is how I am. It is what it is. But then there's a lot of them with the complex who either are become womanizers, or when they're interacting with other men, they feel the need to puff out their chest and do the most. And it's like, you don't have to do all of
I ain't
that.
doing. Listen, if it was me, I wouldn't have done a damn thing. I'd have sat there and just let him go off. I'm not gonna get into an argument with no grown man over semantics and shit that he did in the house. Like, it's stupid at this point.
Yeah. I
You
thought the
know,
whole situation was dumb.
it was dumb. It was
Yeah.
stupid. And you see, Nick didn't get anywhere near this fight. So I'm trying to understand, because this was the whole issue was in his room, right?
Hmm.
Where was Nick at?
Nick moved on. He told me,
Exactly.
because
And I
that's
would have
that's what men do. The men are shorter.
if the person who it's happening to has moved on, so have I. I am not gonna sit up here and fight someone else's battle just because I don't like his behavior in the house. Now, a lot of people disagree with that. A lot of people felt like Amir was in his right to do that, but I'm like, no, he wasn't. I wouldn't have done it.
If it's not your fight, or
If
your loved
you,
one's
yeah,
fight, you gotta.
you don't know this man, so what do you? Yeah, like what do you get into it with him over?
I
I
do think
don't.
on Amir that's going to be an ongoing issue. I can kind of see him inserting himself into other people's drama, and then trying to use like childhood or emotional traumas as an excuse as to why
Yeah,
he's done that. It's never right to be bullied. Hell, I was bullied too, but you can't just be puffing out your
hello.
chest at everybody. You keep asking for an ass whooping, somebody gonna give it to you, Amir.
Yeah,
So my advice to Amir and to Bravo producers is, whoever's watching this, whoever knows this man, please explain to him he needs to do what those shirts say. He needs to practice, since he's practicing his blackness, practice minding your black owned business. How about that? That's what he needs to do. You can't get into the fights of every doggone body. Separate from that, on Amir, the only other note that I had with him was, did you peep that it came out after the fact that he was the one to mix up the laundry with the dog stuff?
yeah.
I was like, so last week we had this whole episode. These women got into an altercation with him standing right there watching. And he allowed these women to fight each other to points where it almost became physical, knowing doggone
Well,
well he was the one who caused the issue at
and see,
hand.
and once again, this is where I said the ethnicity part. A lot of people don't want to admit that does play a huge part,
Mhm.
especially where he comes from in Texas, where I'm sure men always will put black women and pit them against each other. Just
Mhm.
we saw this in high school. We saw this. Men do this shit on purpose, where they antagonize. Oh, that girl said this about you. Oh, she said that about you. So then it ends up turning this big old thing where then the girls end up fighting. And I feel like that's what happened here. I'm not saying he intentionally caused the rift between Mariah and Bree,
It
but I
wasn't.
felt like he could have easily said, "Hey, oh no, she didn't do anything. That was my bad. I accidentally did this."
He should. That's the right thing to do. If I see two people about to fight over something that I know I did, I'm be like, "Hey, yo,
Hmm.
like it was me. Y'all don't gotta fight each other."
Right.
But I felt like that also demonstrated like a lack of integrity on his part.
Oh,
Um,
for sure, for
yeah,
sure.
because it seemed like he wanted the argument to happen. When confronted on it later, they're like, "Wait, see, he's like, I mean, I'm not gonna like." What are we, 5? Are we still like excited and
Or
turned on
unless
for
Bravo
female
put him up
fighting?
to it, knowing that it would piss Mariah off because
Mm.
she was already on the edge with it on the first episode, and I told you it was her that really had the issue because I could tell based on how the conversation went with her and Jasmine. So I wouldn't put it past production that they
Mm.
probably caused that or probably told him to do it. just in case if it did backfire, it is Amir who did it. So I'm sure these girls are not going to get mad at Amir,
They
Mariah,
came
or
from him.
Bria.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They're the
Yeah.
one that, you know.
That's a very good observation. Oh
Hmm.
man, look, that's it, and that's all for Amir. That's what. See, that's the thing we're going to notice. Just to speak out to those watching, we appreciate all the support. By the way, this cast and the issue. It's not that it's not a good show. It's like we keep speaking about. It's the dynamic. The fact that I could move on along to the next cast member just so fast. I'm like, something has to give us more. So the next people I guess I'll speak about is Phil since he left. Let's just get
Hmm.
him over and done. I just I felt like they definitely made the right decision getting rid of him just because it seems like he's the type to egg stuff on just for his personal entertainment,
Right.
regardless of how real it is for other people. That's that can either be really good for TV or it could be really bad if you don't understand boundaries. I don't think he gives a damn about
Um,
anyone's boundaries.
no, I don't think he cares either. But to me, I'm gonna say this about Phil and his dynamic. I feel like Phil was not brought on by. I think he was brought in to be an antagonistic. He just took it way too far. Like he was supposed to be an antagonist, and just you know, he took it to the left too quick because then now everyone has an issue with him. And
Mhm.
so the fact that he left, I was like, yeah, leave because I don't think you would have fit in with this group of people anyway. I don't feel like, to me, from what I heard about him in LA, because LA circle is small, he
Very.
actually is well accomplished. So from what I heard.
Yeah.
And I am like, okay, so why would you taint your well accomplished image on this Bravo show
Mhm.
and think that that's going to work for you in the long run? Because one, you made yourself look like a liability. You made yourself look like when things hit the fan, you're going to go absolute batshit crazy, and that's
Right.
not how any of this should be. You should be able to contain yourself, and the fact that you weren't able to, yeah, I'm glad to see you go because yeah.
That was the strangest thing
Hmm.
since Hot or not Hottie. Who was that? Years ago, the girl who took a shit on Flavor of Love. She
Oh,
just came.
that's something.
Yeah.
The
Boy.
girl that was on the Date Your Mom show.
Oh
Yeah, I
Lord.
remember her. I remember that whole situation.
That
Yes.
had to be one of the craziest things I've seen. Like, come on now. When it comes to the business of your booty, keep that to yourself and flush. It wasn't that big of a deal to me. It's just like, okay, y'all must not have Airwick or Febreze Air Effects in the house because they were really upset about that shit in that toilet. But to me, it's like, why? Why did he like? That's what my brain. I'm not going to go into it for too long, but my brain wonders. Even my husband was like, we laughed, but we're like, why would you shit in someone's toilet intentionally and not flush the toilet? That's just a strange thing to do. That also to me demonstrated another reason, like you said, that he wasn't good for the show because that's just a strange thing to do. And it shows to me kind of a violation of personal space because these bathrooms are in people's rooms. So regardless on if the room is yours or not, someone else's property is here. This is someone else's toilet. So it's like, don't come in my room. But I also would like to say with Phil that I think that that goes back to your original statement early on in previous lives about it would have been better if the cast just like did not know each other
I
because in
kept seeing that.
situations like this, it
And
probably
and like in theory, they don't all know each other. Like you have this group of people who know each other, you have that group of people that know each other. So in theory, they don't really know each other, but at the same time, it would have been better had they been strangers. Because
yeah.
then Bill's, child like behavior would have and made sense and then would have been like, okay, so now we need to wrangle him because we need to let him know this is not cool. The fact that he's friends or associated with one or two of the members in the house just makes it seem like, okay, this looks bad on y'all. This doesn't
Mm.
look bad on him. This looks bad on y'all for inviting this man here, knowing I don't care what Bria or Shanice. I was about to say Simone. Shanice, I don't care what Bria and Shanice are saying. Like that, you have had to have seen that at some point. There's no way that behavior came out of nowhere. I am sorry. I'm not going to sit in this chair and act as if that behavior is just something he just came up with out of his ass. Sorry, he has done this before.
It seemed
Maybe
like Phil's personality type. I definitely am glad you said that because it definitely seems like that's just his personality. He's laid back, he's goofy. They do kind of seem as a group like they're trying, like the way that they are coming off is a little bit like uppity per se. And Phil kind of gave more of a little like down to earth, goofy vibe. So it definitely think it was the right thing for him to be put out. The last thing I'll say on Phil is I thought it was hilarious and lived for when they put him out and it called his phone like, don't you want to at least say sorry? Or don't you? He said, nah, fuck y'all, I'm out. And hung up on them. I was cracking up because I felt him. It's like, you put me out. Why are you calling me, asking me to apologize to you,
no.
who I just met?
It wasn't so much that they put him out and it's like they didn't vote. Like Bria didn't vote for him to get put out, and I don't think Shanice did either. I don't think those two voted. I think it was everybody else in majority rules situation. Melita Jenkins, we're talking about Martha's Vineyard on Bravo. We're on season 1, episode 3.
That's my hair braider, y'all.
Shout out to Melita. I just want to make sure your question didn't go unanswered, sweetie. I just want to make sure.
Thank you. Right when you said it, it popped up for me.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's kind of move on from Phil.
Well, that was pretty much it. There's nothing to really discuss when it comes to Phil. I wish he would have stayed, though. He seemed fun, but not on this show. I think he'll do great things also.
So I have a question. I know we're about to get into it next. Mariah's exit. So,
how did you know that was next? We just, it's these lives. We in sync.
Yeah, we in sync. So go ahead and mention it because I kind of go ahead and mention
it. Mariah, to the thugs watching, has been sent home. She has been sent home. In the previous episode that we discussed, which you could catch on the previous recap, she had an issue with Bria. The issue she had with Bria was due to dirty laundry, that dang dog that Bria, that Mariah don't like. I know she don't like the dog. I don't care what nobody says. She don't like that dog. She don't like Bria. So the issue escalated to points of, I wouldn't even want to call it violence, but I guess they're calling it that. So I will. Someone touched someone else, but not in a way to me that's fully serious. After the fact, they move on, they go to bed, days go by. Because Phil got voted out, Bria decided, well, you know what? I was disrespected and I want her to go too. Girl, if you wanted that girl to go for hitting you and you felt like violence was a thing and that was a no-go, speak it from the beginning. But you was hitting her back, throwing stuff in her face. So to me, I just felt like Mariah leaving was necessary because I feel like she would have kept getting into it with people. I feel like Mariah and Jasmine's and Jordan's dynamic would have caused like an issue with others. I just get that feeling. I don't know. I just felt like Mariah was unproblematic. However, I was glad to see her just kind of leave without arguing and without doing the most because it's like, I don't stay nowhere I'm not wanted. So I'm going to go. What I did think was effed up. Your friend, your close friend, your homegirl, your ride or die, you was homeless. Y'all slept together in the car and showered at Planet Fitness together. And you went and were the one to kick her out. Like, I don't care if that was me and you in the house or something. I really don't give a fuck what James did. That's my friend. Y'all want him out. Y'all put him out. I'm not putting him out. I'm just not doing it. But.
Right. And see, and here's the thing. And you said exactly what I thought, because I thought it was messed up for them to, even though she invited Mariah to send Jasmine there to throw her out, when Jasmine wasn't even somebody that voted her out.
Right.
So it was kind of like, to me, y'all, Bria, this is where I lose Bria now. This is where I probably never liked Bria, but I lost Bria because to me, you were manipulating the situation in your favor.
Absolutely.
And we all saw that. And see, and that's what you did with this whole, with Phil leaving the house. Now Mariah had to leave the house. So I'm going to say this. And I'm about to catch hell for this, but I really don't give a damn. I actually didn't want Mariah to leave.
She would have made good TV.
It's not that she would have made good TV. I don't think it was fair. I don't think that was a fair assessment. I don't think that Mariah pushing Bria, and let's keep it real, she didn't push her with an aggressive, like with both hands and pushing her. She put her laundry on her chest and kind of mushed her little ass across the wall. So those two are not the same thing. Let's be very, very clear. And Bria had fault in that argument too. So
Mm,
if Mariah should have left, so should have Bria. Bria should have left too. But
mm.
see, nobody was strong enough to say,
I said
if,
that to my husband. That's interesting. You brought that up. They should have
yeah,
both been sent
they should
home.
have both been sent
It
home. But
wasn't
the
just
problem,
one person touching one person.
exactly. But see, the problem was Bria manipulated that situation and threw feeling to distract people. Because if I was sitting there amongst these group of people, I would have said, "Well, Bria, should you go home as well? Because you were equally as aggressive as she was."
Hmm.
I
She
might not
did.
like her, but at the same time, that's not a fair thing to do. I'm always about being fair. Even if I don't like you, I'm always going to be fair to your detriment, because at the same time, it's not my feelings that should be in place in your situation. That should never be a situation where, because I don't like you, I'm just gonna say, yeah, I don't care. If you didn't do anything to me and I just don't like your energy, I'm not gonna say no, you shouldn't go home. You should stay right here.
Mm,
Because if Bria's not going home, you shouldn't have went home either. Bria
mm.
should have went home with her. They should have both gotten that car together and just had the car tip over if they decide to fight.
It just
That's
had to
how.
come tip
Yeah,
over.
let the car tip over if they just had to fight. Because I'm sorry, I was really mad at that. I was mad that the cast of this house allowed Bria to manipulate that situation like she did, and I'm mad at Jasmine for not putting a bigger foot down, because this my damn Airbnb. She ain't going nowhere.
Mm.
Like you said, if it was me, if everybody want me gone, then y'all need to tell James he got to go. I am not saying anything, but knowing you, Amina, because I'm like this too, your ass would have left with me.
Yeah. I don't know you people. And you're
Yeah,
not my friend, so what's to say I'm not next? Like
yeah, you would
loyalty.
have. I know, y'all. I know her so well. She would have left if it was me. She would have left with me. She would. She wouldn't have stayed in the house if I was gone. And
We
it's the
packed
same
up
thing for me. If they're
together.
kicking me out, I'm going too. Like, first of all, I probably don't like half of y'all, and I'm not gonna sit up in no house with y'all, because then I've been cussed out one of y'all. I'm sorry. I've been
He said I'm gonna cuss out one of y'all.
I've been cussed out one of y'all. I promise you. If I was in
That's
this
how
house
it
with
goes.
If I
That's
was
how
in this house, if I was in Martha's Vineyard in Bravo, let me explain something to y'all. I am not available for this. I am not.
he's
I
not.
don't care. I am not available for this. Y'all people who work in that call center, I am not available. Don't y'all send no stuff to Bravo and I get an email from somebody say, hey, can you be on the next season of Summer House? Because I'm gonna say, hell yes. But no, because I want the check. But what I'm saying, because I want that check. But at the same time, I'm gonna be like, no, because I'm gonna cuss somebody out. I already know me.
He said, I know myself. I know myself. And it ain't gonna work.
I know me. I know. I'm because the men in there. First of all, I don't like perpetration. Let's get that out there now. And
Perpetrators.
that was all up in this episode with these men. All up in this episode, from Silas to Alex to Nick.
Yep.
Perpetration, and I'm gonna call it out. And it's gonna be what it's gonna be, because first of all, and I'm not trying to jump ahead, but this is what I be talking about with perpetration. I don't know what it is with you Bravo people in that call center, and y'all don't tell people that these men be on here perpetrating like they be doing, and then
I
see we got to go through all
cannot.
this, and we got to rip them on these YouTube reviews. We don't want to do this. I don't want to tear down other black men. I don't want to do it. I don't want to tear down black women. I came from out of a black woman. I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's like somebody bragging on my mama. Like, I cannot do that. So Bravo in that call center, y'all got to do better than this. I'm sorry. Y'all have to do better than this. We're going to get to Alex and that bullshit and Nick with this perpetration.
You know, Alex, because I really don't have much to say outside of Jasmine sending Mariah home. I'll get back to her and Silas in a moment. As for Alex, he was like not in the episode, and I forgot, like, when they showed him when he finally like came outside, I was like, oh, I forgot all about you. And then when he comes talking about other women and stuff. Alex, this episode, we will get to him shortly.
No, we go. We no, we get in right now because I
Look,
think I pissed off.
he irritated the depths of my soul. As a thug, I wanted to go like, you feel me? Come at him like pot. You feel me? Like, I was really irritated with Alex this episode. And which is weird because the whole time I've been like, can't really read him. He's not
I
really
wasn't.
doing.
I knew exactly what I was looking at.
But the way that he came at Shanice, the way that all of these men came at Shanice, from Nick, oh, she don't look like she do in person. I was disappointed. Nigga, please. Then you go to Alex, and he's like, well, I'm interested in her, but you know, I've heard things. And in my head, when he's saying this in the beginning of the episode, I'm like, okay. And he go, what things have you heard? And he's in the
It was a
confessional.
scapegoat. Let's call the shit the shit. It was a scapegoat. He was using her as a scapegoat. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think Alex is straight. I don't. I don't think Alex is straight.
Hell no.
And when he was in the car with the other men and he was talking about he's a sapiosexual, I said, there it is.
A
There it is.
sapiosexual?
He's a sapiosexual. That's what he said. I said, there it is. You don't have to tell me nothing else anymore. I see you.
I didn't catch him.
Go back and watch it. Go back and watch it. They said because I think somebody asked him and then he confirmed. He's like, yeah, I'm a sapiosexual. And I said,
well,
Alex.
To those viewers watching, a sapiosexual, from if I can remember from school, I believe it's somebody who's attracted to someone who they view as intelligent or smart.
It's an intellectual connection, so it doesn't necessarily have to be sexual.
Yeah.
So when he
but
said
to me,
that,
I'm like,
I said,
why are you attracted to what you not? That was my thing. Because if you was intelligent or had intellect, then you would know that the things that you're saying and the way that you behaving don't make
not a bit of damn sense.
Not a bit of
damn sense.
Look.
So what I'm trying to understand from Alex is, because what pissed me off about him is when he said the personal space thing, because she really was into him. And when he said the personal space thing, it was like, okay, you need to further explain what was the issue. And then so when the shit came out about, I need to know who she dated in that TV series. They need to go ahead and announce who that is. If anybody knows, put it in the comments. I need to know who was it she dated.
Yeah,
because she dated a famous actor, and he's on the TV show. He's on one of 50 Cent shows. So I need to know who it is now.
I think I might. Wait a second.
I think I might know who it is too, but I don't want to say it right now.
Is he on the Power Books?
I think I don't remember. He's either on that one or the other.
BMF?
Yes, I think he's on that one. I have to go back and watch because I was like, okay, y'all need to reveal who it is now. So Alex has distance from her now because she was apparently had some issues of stalking, which really, if you ask me, that wasn't an issue at all. That wasn't an issue at all. So I'm just like, dude, miss me with this. I'm gonna go. I want to go easy because you John Legend's cousin. I want to go easy on you.
Who's John Legend's cousin?
Alex. Alex is John Legend's cousin.
He's like Elijah from Growing in Gospel. Because that don't mean shit.
Well, I'm gonna go easy on you because John Legend is unproblematic. He really is. So I just feel like I want to go easy, but I cannot stand perpetration. I can't stand it. We are not in 1995 anymore. We are in 2023, even though Florida makes it hard for me.
Child, I worry about you all the time being there.
Yeah, Florida makes it hard for me, but at the same time, be who you want to be.
Yeah, be who you are.
Be who you want to be and be who you are. It's okay. It's weird at first, but it gets easier. Now, if you really know James' philosophy on it all, I think anybody can do it with anyone.
Well, so I actually agree. I'm trying to tell y'all, the more you discuss things with your friends, the more y'all become in sync. This man is across the country and literally reading my thoughts. I have notes in my phone for this, and he is like literally in the order of my notes on his own. Through a hurricane. Look at God.
Okay, I just took over her whole channel because I'm mad because I got mad because I don't like what he did. Because see, to me, it was Nick at the beginning on episode 2 that pissed me off. Now here come Alex with some old bullshit. To me, Shanice does not seem like she's problematic at all. She just wants to have fun. So until I see an issue with Shanice that's actually reputable, I'm not going to dog her. And for y'all to do that, I'm sorry, Alex. That was uncool.
That was not cool. My other thing is when you're dating, I think especially when you're dating past 25, which all of these people are, I feel as though the things that happened in your previous relationships, even if Shanice was going crazy, you see, she admitted to some of the things that she was doing. But it's like, you not in that person's relationship. And I felt her. They were like, he had 18 missed calls. Girl, somebody better call my husband. Somebody call Oso B3ST. Because when he pissed me off, I'm trying to tell you that I got something to say, and he not with me, I will call him 47 times. I don't give a damn. But that doesn't make you kooky. I just don't think it's right to judge other people based on previous relationships if they've not been accused of like physical accusations and
I
things
agree.
like
And especially because it's nobody's business at the end of the day.
period.
It's
Yes.
nobody's business.
Right.
It's none of Alex's business what she did in that relationship
Mm.
or after the relationship ended. She wasn't ready to let it go, which is what
What
the
if
issue is.
she was basically talking to Alex on things that she's heard about him? He was engaged prior to Jordan, they said in the
Yeah.
earlier episodes. So I was like, what if she was, willing to judge him based on that? And that's the other thing, just real quick. I think that's so weird when people date like people that their friends have dated. Because Shanice, I know you may not be the closest with Jordan, but you good with Jasmine. You know these women. So I just feel like even if you're not my close friend, like even my acquaintance, I'm not gonna go and date somebody who's your ex or be interested in talking to them right in front of them. So that was the only thing. And I feel like Alex tried to use her previous relationship as like you said, like a
It was a scapegoat. It was a
I feel
scapegoat.
like because he had that relationship with Jordan, it should be happening off camera that we don't know about. And this show is so new. I feel like Jordan may have been like, don't talk to this person or that person or something off
See,
camera.
and this is where she and I differ because I don't care if anyone dates any of my exes, any of my friends date any of my exes. I'm kind of one of those people like, if it works for you, fine. Like, I'm not, because when I'm done with somebody, I'm done with somebody.
Child.
Like,
Well, I agree. I had a friend,
yeah.
actually my best friend years ago, had a baby with my ex-boyfriend. And she was like, oh my God, tried to keep it a secret, like the relationship and hell and stuff. And I was like, I've been with my husband since I was 16. So I was like, any of my exes are from high school, and that wasn't
That
serious.
don't count to me.
Yeah,
That,
it don't
especially if it
count.
was a
But
relationship bad in high school. That doesn't
other
count.
people are like, oh my God, how could you stay friends with her? You're not upset. I get that sometimes things happen and it's not always something to be mad about. But the way this friend group is, I just thought that was odd. But I did also think Shanice going to him to talk to him
Oh,
about
I
the
wouldn't have did that
personal
shit.
space.
Yeah.
Look, I'm sorry, YouTube. Fuck that man.
Okay.
I'm not gonna run
Yeah.
to talk to you. Look, Shanice, if you watching, don't go where you're not welcome. Don't stay where you're not wanted. And don't go chase nobody that's not chasing you, especially when you
Especially your
date.
sapiosexual. Let's keep that real too. Let me say something to y'all. Sapiosexuals are like dating asexual people.
Yeah, yeah.
It
Yeah.
is the hardest, and I've dated one. I know it is
Mm,
the hardest thing in the world to do.
mm,
Is date somebody who is asexual or sapiosexual. They are the hardest because let me tell you something. Your brain is a combustion. It literally has two sides and then it has a middle split between. So oftentimes how a sapiosexual works is they could be on this side of this brain on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and be on this side of the brain Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And Sunday they in the middle. So literally
it depends on the
it could
mood.
be, yeah, it could literally be that you could be wanting to have a picnic in a garden over on the east side. He want to go to Red Lobster because y'all don't connect on that day. He doesn't want anything to do with you. That is a sapiosexual. For people who do not understand that, that
Mhm.
is what Alex is talking about right now.
I feel like that's exactly what happened too, because he was real interested in her at
Exactly.
first, and then decided that he's not.
And then decided on a
And
random day, oh, I don't want nothing to do with you because I had heard through the grapevine someone sent me something about you, which whoever that person was, you messy as hell for that because that ain't got nothing to
I
do
don't
with
even think he
yeah.
heard nothing from the grapevine, like from how the producers pulled the shade room and other
Oh
receipts.
yeah. Oh yeah.
He used
I
that as
think
a
what it is, if you
scapegoat.
want me to be honest with you, he knew he wasn't gonna be able to compete with whoever that actor is. That's what it really. If it really wanted to call a spade, it was intimidation because she had a whole actor as a boyfriend, and we just found out through this show, you John Legend's cousin, which I don't know how big of a flex that really is.
It's not.
If exactly.
It's not. Look, I don't know about other black folk, but I ain't really felt connected to John Legend or his music in a long time. I like him, I love him, but I
As long
just
as you ain't problematic, you good with me. I ain't
yeah,
got no
he's
problem
not
with that.
problematic in the what is it, the press, but I'm just like, okay, you're John Legend's cousin. But you know, a lot of these people, I'm noticing they're starting to put people on multiple networks on shows who are related to famous people. It's like, I
I'm
don't really
noticing
give
that
a
too.
damn whose cousin you are. I really don't care. It's not going to do anything for me in my life. So why even, you know, put that out there? But moving on from the situation with Shanice and Alex, I just really wish she didn't run to that man. Like,
Me
don't do
too.
that to the women
Me
watching.
too.
Like,
Yeah, do not do that. Don't do that at all. That shit is
don't do
stupid.
that. If
Don't do
somebody
that.
shows you who they are, believe them, especially when you dating. Especially when you dating. I don't know much, but I know that.
Yeah, she been out the game too long, but she right. I can confirm she's right.
Look, exactly. That's why I don't be wanting to give relationship advice. Like, should have been the same person 14 years, but I mean, I think that's probably why we still together. Some of these things have to be understood. Space is a thing. Listening.
Well, just a thing. Yeah, let's move on because I'm getting mad. I'm gonna start
The
saying
next thing with Shanice, I wanted to get an opinion on since we're talking about her anyway. The free titties. She freed the titties in front of the men. What were your thoughts on that? Because it seemed
that
like
she wasn't into Alex the way she said she was. And see, and this is one of the things I said about I'm not mad at Shanice for doing this. I'm not. I'm not mad at Shanice for trying to shoot her shot with whoever is available in the house because she's there to have fun. She's there to cut it loose. Now, with that being said, I felt like when the man did not come into the bathroom when you told him to come in, you shouldn't have came out. Is what I'm gonna say. I don't care about her titties being there. That's fine. He done seen some titties before, I'm sure. But what I'm saying is that Shanice, if you watching Baby, somebody send this to her then. Do not, if you told the man to come in the bathroom and he walked away, there was no need for you to get your ass out your shower and go and see about him.
Or if you did, the towel that you walked by, you could have wrapped around you.
Yes. But no, I'm mad that she walked out the bathroom. I think she's beautiful. She is a beautiful girl.
The prettiest girls be the most insecure.
Yeah, and I'm just like, it bothered me that she begged, like she was trying to not necessarily beg him, but she was trying to egg on him coming into the room and possibly a situation because she said she wanted it. And I was like, see, but you don't have to literally drag it.
Right.
If it was meant to be with you, it would have came in that bathroom and been with you. So I'm just saying, don't do that because you are a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Them men are stupid.
Yeah.
So I don't even want to even. They should have brought somebody else on the show that would have been better suited for Shanice. That's all.
They didn't really do.
They didn't do her justice, and I'm mad about that.
They didn't do her justice, but that was really it with Shanice. The other, I guess, who do I move into next? You know what? I'm gonna just get him out the way. Preston. My note literally says, "Boring. Why is he there?" Because that's all I have to say.
They're feeding into this. See, Bravo, and this is people in the call center that is watching us. People in the call center that is watching us right now. Stop doing this. Stop doing this. Yeah. This is ridiculous. What y'all are trying to label and stereotype this man.
Yeah.
It is stupid. And for those of y'all who are confused on what I am talking about, Bravo has this tendency to have a room full of straight people and have the one elite gay person to cause all the drama and the mess, go from the women, then go to the men, stir up the compunction so that way they have a show. It is laziness. It is absolutely lazy, and I am tired of y'all doing this. We have to see this with all the other shows. I don't want to see it on this one anymore. And that goes for all the rest of the networks too that try to do this bullshit.
I feel like these networks, it's probably touchy to touch on, but I feel like a lot of these networks do this with people in the LGBT community, especially gay men. They have to, it seems, have someone, in my opinion, who's on the show who checks off every stereotype that is publicly known about people of the LGBTQ community. And I have a lot of friends a part of that community, and the stereotypes in my experience usually don't really
align with that.
Yeah, at all.
Exactly. And that's exactly true. Now,
the only difference is
be messy. Absolutely. Gay men can be messy as hell. But
yes,
what I'm saying is, me too. But what I'm saying is that they're trying to always paint this picture, and then you have women and men in society emulating that same picture about all of them. And see, and that's where I hate when shows do this, because yes, it exists, but that's not in everybody. If I come on this show, I am not going to be messy.
Right.
I
Right.
promise you. I'm probably going to be more so the voice of reason or call the bullshit when I see it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
probably people are going, when they see me, they're going to run in the corners and hide, because they know if I see it, I'm going to
Yeah.
say something. Because I don't, it's not that I don't care. I live in a world where things have to always be right or spot on.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, that's how my life is right now at this given moment. When I'm 40, it may be different. But
Right. Right.
when, as this good 33-year-old man today, when I see it, I say something. Will it get me popped in my mouth? Maybe. But I don't care. I don't care if this part of my mouth is closed. This part of my mouth will keep on talking. That's why my mouth is split down the middle. I promise you. I could talk off both sides of my mouth and be just fine.
Yeah, I'm over it. But I feel like Bravo and a lot of networks feel like they have to throw someone on the cast who's gay because, no disrespect, the LGBTQ community does. There's a difference between fighting for your rights and then ignoring other people's feelings and things. I feel like people lately have been a little annoyed with their plight and how they're getting it across. It's just not.
It's more
And so the
so
networks are
they
like, let
want to
me
make.
just throw someone who's gay here.
Yeah, it's like it's trying to make sure that everyone is included.
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
it, but at the same time, I feel there's a better way to do it.
Yeah, there absolutely is. It's getting, I actually have seen comments on this show specifically where people are like, this show is way too segregated. People who watch from other countries and stuff, they're like, this is weird how America summer segregates shows. You got Black Summer House, and then you have the regular Summer House. You got regular Married to Medicine, then you got the Beverly Hills one they tried to have. You got, so like, people are noticing these things. I think they should just cast people like they did back in the day, based upon who's interested, who you think will blend. Stop trying to check a checklist. Oh, we've got a Black girl, we've got an Asian girl, we've got a gay girl, we've got, like, stop, networks. It's annoying. It to me, it's like a battle you can't win. There's always going to be someone upset when you're dealing with the public. And it's interesting that networks don't realize that. So that's all I have to say on Preston, because there's nothing else to say. I don't really have nothing bad to say about him per se. I just feel like he in the house coasting.
I don't have anything bad to I don't have anything bad to say about Preston either. I just feel like I expect better,
Mhm.
better
Mhm.
representation,
Mhm.
better, you know, better entertaining quality when it comes to how y'all want to put this random man and who's always with one or two people in the house causing and stirring up shit. I want to see it done. If shit has to be stirred, get a better looking spoon. Is
Mm.
all I'm saying.
Not the spoon.
That's all I'm saying. Get a better looking spoon. If it
I
has to be, if
love
the
it.
shit has to be stirred, get a better looking spoon. Because
I agree.
I'm tired
I
of the same
agree.
old one. Okay, moving on.
The next person I'll move into, because we kind of discussed Bria, not much really happened with her, is I don't even know how to organize it. I guess we'll do Jordan, Jasmine, and Silas in one. As
No,
for
what we could do is we could do Jordan going off on Phil
Yeah, no, I
and
have that
intertwine,
as a part of her.
intertwine,
She,
because they all intertwines if you think about it. That's why I'm saying this just
they
get
did.
yeah,
They absolutely
this
did.
just get them out the way real quick.
Jordan and Phil. Okay. I don't know what female she's standing up with her hands behind her back. What you gonna do? You're not gonna, girl, sit down. That's a man. Stop. I don't, and I just didn't feel like I I get it, because it's like, I'm not gonna let no man disrespect me, especially if I don't have my dude or a man around me that can defend me. But at the same time, I didn't quite understand any of her. Like,
It gives me one or two things. It gives me one or two things. And I said this before. I said it gives me one, either it was sexual tension and she was just disappointed because he ended up being different than what she thought he was going to be. That was my first thing. My second thing was because you saw how silly he was acting. So because this is filmed in like all together and not in sequence where you can actually watch back and go, okay, I can do it better this time. It seems like you were trying to have a moment.
She was trying to have a moment.
But and that's my thing. That's why I said that's why these two really intertwine when you think about it. It's like, did you like Phil at some point, and then when he did this, you were turned off?
I think she thought that she could use her pretty to get him to be quiet and like relax for the
See,
house.
and that's the thing, manipulation, and that's
Yeah,
what I thought. That's the thing, and
yeah.
that was my point. Because it seems like she really was trying. She was trying to like, I don't know if it wasn't necessarily woo him. It was more like, it's like, Phil, come on, like you want to get this. Like, why are you, uh, like what's going on with you, Phil? Like,
I think he figured that out too. I don't
yeah.
think Phil is dumb.
Because
I was
I
watching
don't
it.
think Phil's dumb either. I think Phil knew exactly what she was
He knew
doing.
exactly what she was.
And the problem is that, and I feel like, and I think that's why she got angry because she got slighted. Because I think
It's embarrassing.
yeah, it's
How
embarrassing.
she
It's
handled her
embarrassing on national
embarrassment.
TV
Yeah.
to let a man slight you like this. But what I'm gonna say about Phil was so disrespectful when he put that $100 on that table like that. I was like, okay, see now now you being stupid. Now you see now that was silly.
He was pushing their buttons. That's what he does. That's why he's wrong.
And that's when I knew she had a trauma bond about people calling Playmate, bunnies hoes and things like that, and put the money on the table because that's always been a stigma around it, Playmates and stuff. So I think that triggered something up in her.
And this is why you mind your Black-owned business. Because if Jordan would have minded her goddamn business, then she wouldn't have even had to be in that situation. Shanice was
Anywhere
standing
near the
right there the
situation,
whole time and was just like,
and that's her friend.
and didn't have
And
much to say.
where the fuck was Bria?
Right.
Exactly. That's my point. That's why I'm saying, like, I can't. I'm telling you, I cannot with this cat.
He said
That's
it
all I
weird.
was saying.
It was
So
free.
my message to Jordan is, I want you to seek counseling. One, because clearly there's something that man shouldn't have triggered all of that. That man shouldn't have triggered all of that.
She was
If
in
you
the
could just get up and walk
professional.
away.
I am not the one. Well, then then
Yeah, it
just be
was
not
like,
the one. You
yeah,
usually people say,
I
I'm
wouldn't even have
the
given, if
one.
I knew this man was on some bullshit when he walked up in this house, I wouldn't even have given this man the opportunity. I'd be in the kitchen cooking breakfast the next day. Talking
Yep.
about, damn, you still here? Okay, well, hey,
My
you want some
husband and
bacon?
me was watching it and we was looking like, okay, so you coming up on this dude, you talking all this stuff. And in our head, we just like, why are you here? Why do you care? What does this have to do?
That's why I said either she wanted to sleep with him or she was using her trauma or she was trying to get a moment out this Bravo camera.
He
Because
knew, you could tell though, watching it, like even through the TV. I could tell from the look on his face from the moment she approached him. There is nothing that you could say to this person that's gonna get them to act like they have sense. Most people can't sense that. So yeah, I just felt like Jordan wanted a moment. She kind of annoys me a little bit. I feel like every episode so far, she finds a way to insert herself and kind of make herself the center of attention. And I'm like, is this
she's
going to
the
be a thing?
person that you want to like just because you want people to stop, pigeonholing Black women who are beautiful into this whole slut shaming, slut kind of, in placing that they can't be intelligent or anything, or that they're single, something is wrong with them. I wanted people to stop doing that, but at the same time, she's on bullshit in the same way Bree is on bullshit, and it's not mixing, and I'm about sick of them too. What else we got to talk about? Because I ain't gonna waste no more time with
That
that.
was really it. The last thing that there is Silas and Jasmine. I don't even have
Oh,
much to
that's
say
okay. I got you. That's
about
okay.
them. I'm over this bullshit ass marriage. Like that's how
So
I feel. He even admitted himself throughout the episode. Like I met her during the pandemic. I did all of this is new to me. And I believe them. I really do believe him.
so
However,
for anybody who's been watching since we've been recapping it, go back to episode 1. and go to a specific part. I don't know where it is, where I said he did not know her in her friend dynamics.
He didn't. He didn't, which
He
is
did not know
weird
that in
to
her friend.
me.
That is weird to me. That's weird
It's
to me as
even through
well.
the pandemic, your dude should be able to meet your friends, because through the pandemic, we did not talk to
Well,
or deal with people who we really didn't know. So you
well,
could
this
meet
year
this
is
whole
let's do
man.
some math real quick. This year is 2023.
Mhm.
Restaurants started opening back up in its full capacity in 2021.
Yep.
New York may have an exclusion because you had to be fully vaccinated. That's when they passed that
Same with
law.
here. Yeah.
You had to be fully vaccinated in order for you to maneuver and had to show your vaccination cards. So I more than likely believe that they're fully vaccinated in order to live there, right? So if restaurants open their full capacity up in 2021, that means that it is 2023. That means you had at least a year and a half to view her in her dynamics.
Let's keep it real. The pandemic, I get tired of people trying to blame stuff on the pandemic. Like, it happened, it was awful. We're still technically in a pandemic, but let's keep it real. That's the part that irritates me about Silas and Jasmine. Y'all got together in 2020. You dated through the pandemic, right?
No, it got so no, it gives me you were on your way to 30 and is not married yet, and you fall into that old black stereotype that if you're not married
The
yet,
pandemic is
there's
not an
something is
excuse
wrong
for
with you.
him to not have known about the dynamic of your friendship. Why
Exactly.
the hell would you marry somebody and you don't know how they are about their friends? This is the shit that causes the marriage statistics to be effed up. And that's just the fact. Why the hell are people getting married to people
No,
who
it's
they
just
don't fully
because
know?
people don't marry people for reasonings, or they're not upfront with the reasons of why they want to marry somebody. It's like this. I have 5 fingers. So I have 5 reasons of why I want to marry you, but I'm only going to show you 2. I'm not going to show you those other 3 until we get deeper into marriage. Okay, I'm going to pull this one out because you check this box out, but I got these other 2 right here. So here we are in this marriage. You still ain't showed me these other 2. What's going on? It's funny because I met a philosopher and he married his husband because he was only attracted to him. That was the only reason why he married him, because he was attracted to him.
Look.
So, and they had been married for 26 years. 26 years.
People think that time means that a marriage is right. It don't.
No. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it like this. The reason why he married him is still there.
Well, yeah.
It's still there. The reason I married, and that's what my point is to say, people do not marry people for solely just a reason. They marry them because of their own agendas. And that's where people mess up at. It is 2 of y'all. It is not only you. Silas gives me that he married Jasmine because his agenda was, I am getting older. I am tired of being single. I found this black woman. I'm about to marry her. I'm about to convert her into my traditional background of life. And she's just going to go through it all because I'm a man of a certain age. And I come from a moment where, because I'm not married yet, my family's starting to look down upon me now.
Yeah,
that's what that gives me.
In his culture. I think that's a part of it, but I think it's also, I think a lot of people watching this show, and I look at comments and stuff, like to put things on Silas, which a lot of it is 2 people. But she clearly stated in the episode that she's like, I don't know. The thought of being with someone for decades freaks me out. I don't know that I want to do. I'm like, making comments like that. Then why did you say yes? Why did you walk down the aisle? I feel like they both definitely got married for the wrong reasons.
For the wrong reasons. But the problem why I don't have an issue with Jasmine, yes, because her shit ain't came out yet. Only that little bit of part came out about, well, I don't know about being with somebody for decades. Yeah, we understand it, but more of his insecurities show than hers. Hers are coming. Hers are coming. I'm sure it's about to come in this next episode, but his showed more. So I'm going to put more of the responsibility on Silas until I see more of her issues to why this marriage is in the clusterfuck that it's in, because it is in one. And I'm trying to figure out, if you did not know about this, because when he was saying, oh, you can't take no free drinks from somebody, it was like, why not?
I got that though. And the people who don't, that's probably why they look. If you're single, I understand if someone like sends a drink or something, because
Jordan is single.
I'm married. So I've accepted free drinks while out with no issue. But like to talk about it like in front of the spouse, to me, it's like he shouldn't be so controlling. Like females, if you're a female, you don't even have to be the most attractive female. When you go out, usually there's a male or somebody who's offering you a free drink. The problem I had on Silas's end with having an issue with it is like in his mind, it seems like he's like, I don't want men buying you drinks. Like, would you feel the same way if a woman bought her a free drink? Like,
Boom, there it is right there.
to me,
There
I
it is
felt
right
like
there.
it was
There's the
an ego
misogynistic
thing.
side that I
Yeah,
said he
yeah.
had. That's it right there, because I said the same thing about mine. I'm like, okay, so if a woman buy you a drink with your group of friends, because let me explain something to y'all who do not know me. I am the ugly friend.
No,
All
you're
of my
not.
guy friends are way more attractive than I am. I have been in plenty of situations where we have all got to roll drinks and I know somebody was trying to talk to me. So, like, let's cut it out. I'm not going to sit up here and act as if a man buying that woman a drink is meaning he's always being suggestive. Yes, it can happen, but you know how to detour the conversation. No, that's the single one right there, over there, the little girl over there with the pigtails. No, that's the single one over there, the girl with the big ass wig. No, that's the girl. No, that she's single over there with the one with the busted ass shoes. It is not me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you know how to turn it off. I am more than positive that Jasmine is not sitting up there talking about, oh yeah, you got me a drink. Yeah, yes, what we talking about. I am sure she's not doing that. So for him to even say that, it was like, okay, I know where this is going. Cut it out. And two, that just shows how insecure you really are.
Mhm.
And three, I'm just gonna keep it real with you, Jasmine. If I was you, I would run.
I think that the cultural difference is
Yes,
going to be an issue. I really
absolutely.
do. I really, really do.
He should
I
have married
just
a woman of his same traditional ethnic background, like someone who
that's
would
hard to
understand.
do, and usually those end up having to be arranged, I believe, in that culture. But they,
Still,
yeah, still they have arranged marriages. Yes, still to this day, it is normal. It is absolutely normal. That's one of the chicks. She's not Liberian. I believe she's is it Turkish? Jennifer Aiden on Housewives of New Jersey. It's interesting watching her because she was arranged to be married to the man she's married to and has kids with. And
okay, I knew it had to
it
be a okay.
there
I
are
knew it had to be a reason
multiple
because I was like, oh,
there's multiple cultures that still believe in that, even when they come to the States. So arranged marriages are a thing. So I feel like that could have been why he may not have wanted to do it. But at the same time, there's so many cracks in the foundation so early on. You should be in honeymoon stage. I don't I just get the feeling that Silas is just here so he can look like, oh, I'm not controlling. See, I let you do that show like behind closed doors. But I do think that he has multiple issues with things. If you don't like the way your spouse kicks it and all of that, it's like, The other thing I will say to finish with Jasmine and Silas is as somebody who's married to people in relationships, like learn to tell your friends to shut the fuck up sometimes. And the reason I say that is because why are these women right in front of her husband in terms of Jordan and them? This is what she does, especially Shanice. This is what Jasmine does. Oh, you don't know her like we know her and all of that. Like, learn to tell your friends in an appropriate, respectful way to shut the fuck up. I think a lot of relationships struggle when you have too much input. I don't confide in everybody about my marriage when I need to. I confide in James and my friend Rachel and nobody else because you cannot tell everybody or disclose to everybody even small things like that. Oh, I want to drink. Well, you can't do that. You can't do that. I feel like Jasmine needs to, she keeps talking about the struggle with friends, and I think more so is it her friends keep making comments because things have changed.
no, 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 no.
Doing
It's
it
not
in
that at
front of
all.
him. I feel like that's an issue. There's no reason your
That's
friend to
definitely
be
an
so
issue, but let me
vocal.
tell you Jasmine's problem. Jasmine's problem is that she gives me she was bullied a lot and didn't have very many friends.
Oh,
And so she holds on to everybody that comes in her or gives her an amount of attention, and she doesn't know how to manage it when it intermingles. That's the problem with Jasmine. I see it clearly. I see this is somebody who probably did not have the highest of self-esteem, And because her friends, if you notice, even this friend dynamic here, all of these women are completely different.
Yeah.
None of them have anything in common other than they worked at the same place with each other.
Right.
Which should tell you something right there.
Yeah.
So to me, it just seems like she's like kind of, I don't know if it's because I don't want to say battling the insecurity because that might be incorrectly, diagnosing her. But what I'm saying is she's mirroring some type of like life that she does not want to let go of, and that life does not include Silas. It just doesn't. And I think that that's really what that means. I don't know if I could be married this long because to me, it seems like you got married to him for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, everyone's marriage is different. I think everyone's expectations for those who are not married are different. What works for me and my spouse in my marriage is something that in your marriage someday that you may not want to happen. So to me, it seems like as a couple, they need, I hope that they go see like a counselor or something, which is difficult for Black people in general. Don't really like counselors. That's why you see them bullshitting, trying to get away from counseling, but still getting it through life coaches. And then African culture, I know from experience in my family, they're not always open to that either. So I feel like it's unfortunate, but I definitely think that they need to go into counseling so that they can get to the bottom of what they want from each other, their expectations, the boundaries they have in their relationship, like not to get all deep on everybody, but it's very clear that they're not just not aware of each other in certain ways and how they are. They also don't know what each other wants and expects out of a relationship. I think that Jasmine hears it more from Silas because people are saying, oh, he's controlling, he's controlling. I think that he is insecure still for a reason. I think it has something to do with this relationship, something we don't know. Regardless, it doesn't make what he's doing okay. But at the same time, like if it's that important to you to be, with your friends and kicking it and stuff, like you have to let your husband know that. Like me, I'm kind of the type of person who'll put my husband first. It's always going to be my husband over friends. You know what I'm saying? That's why I started the live a little late today, dealing with my husband. So it's not everybody thinks that way. They just have a lot to figure out that I think really requires counseling. And I hope that if they continue with this show, if there's a season 2 when they bring back Jasmine and Silas, I really hope that they have a counselor behind closed doors to help them deal with the camera. Just because I want Black love to win, but if
I want Black love to win, but you just said something that just triggered my inner spirit. Bravo, I don't want this cast back. I want somebody else. I want more. I want different people. I want strangers to come into this house and exude the experience. Now, I don't mind the whole, because at first I thought I was going to, because I even said it in the first video about the whole Amir not being in connection with African American and him leaning over more to the Lebanese side, because I said that was going to annoy me because I feel like he's going to piss me off. I honestly want that. I want 1 or 2 more people like that, where they're not embracing their African American culture as much. So, they're around people who are, and I like that's entertainment to me, is when you have people of that type of background. So people who work in that call center out there in New York, I want y'all to take this note and take this so seriously. When y'all bring Summer House Martha's Vineyard back with the whole Black cast, we want different people.
I want Black people.
I want Black people as well.
So concerned about being a certain way for the camera.
Maybe New York Blacks are not the ones. Go get some DC Blacks, HBCU Blacks. Get different HBCU Black people.
You know what I do notice, just really quick before we finish, is that when they put people in New York who are African American on TV, there is no happy medium. They either ratchet in front of the hood, Bronx, Brooklyn, and all of that, and not the good kind of ratchet, the I ain't got no sense, we hope you figure it out, you got lucky with this fame type of ratchet, or, oh, and we go to Martha's Vineyard to connect with the culture, but don't actually kick it with the culture outside of that, is what I get from this cast.
Exactly. That's exactly what I get. It's funny you said that. See, I almost knocked this table over because you said exactly what I was thinking, because that is exactly what I'm seeing.
I tried to give it a few episodes. I tried because you want to get to know the cast. Season 1, like when we get to the last episode from This first one it could be completely different. So you always try to give it a couple episodes before forming an opinion on a reality show. But as a Black person, as y'all see, you feel me? I really feel like these are people who are using the fact that they're in Martha's Vineyard and the history of it to help them connect to a community that they really don't connect with
exactly
at all. Because look at other shows, Housewives of Atlanta. We've got gay African American men on there. They are less animated than Preston. Look at all of these shows. You can be real, you can be gritty, you can be your true, authentic, fabulous Black self. But I just get a feeling a lot of what they're doing is staged, like giving the whole explanation of
it's not the African American experience that I knew and grew up with. It's not the African American experience that I want to see implemented on TV. It's not the African American experience for people to be educated to behave in this matter where it then makes us look like we have no class or decorum about ourselves. That's the issue that I have with this whole setting, is that we miss, and then you have some who feel like they're high above it, but have the most deep-rooted issues I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. Yeah, I want a different cast. I do not want to see this cast anymore.
I think we can agree. I'll continue to recap it because I finished what I start, y'all. And I have had some people who watch these little recaps that I appreciate the few of you that do for Summer House. But yeah, I definitely think that we can agree. It's been said every episode that a new cast will be necessary. Maybe take or leave like 2, maybe 3 of these people and add in some other people. He said, nope, just don't want it, y'all.
Nope. Do not do that. Do not do that. Because it will be my luck if you're going to keep Alex and you're going to keep Shanice. It would be just my luck. I don't want to see anybody from this cast on this show.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they'll do a reunion, but regardless on if they do a reunion or not, because usually what I would do in a reunion recap is go over the cast and our thoughts, who we want to keep, who we want to go for some fun. I think that's fun. So I will be doing that towards the end of the season. But that for me was the Mrs. Best and Watch Your Mouth Reviews, a recap of Summer House Martha's Vineyard. We are doing the best we can. Me and James looks like we go be always collaborating with these little show reviews on one of our channels. So we'll continue to push out content. We appreciate everybody for watching. And I believe, what time is your recap? We'll be recapping Couples Retreat. I know Nalita was here for
We're going to do Couples Retreat on Thursday. So we're going to do it. We're going to do it when I get off work because I know I've been busy, y'all. But come back to my channel in about 25 minutes. We are going to do Bell Collective. I do Bell Collective first. She's really excited about Bell Collective.
He put me on the show, y'all. Like a lot of these shows that I'm recapping, I would not have watched if not for James. So I love Bell Collective, and everybody who ain't watched, put it on, put something on just a second. All you need is 25 minutes to see it.
Yes, trust me, that show had me cooked on episode 1. I was cussing my TV out.
Yes.
So Bell Collective will be first. That starts at in about 25 minutes. And then we're going to do Real Housewives of Atlanta about 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. So we will be back on my channel. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. Make sure you have, she should have the link in the description box.
It is.
Y'all subscribe to us. We get lots of people who watch this. I don't know how long you watch it for, but you can hit that subscribe button. I'm not always as crazy, y'all. I promise you this episode.
It's not crazy. He gives his opinion. I appreciate you for giving your opinion. Please subscribe. It's in the description of my channel. It's in the bio of my channel on the main page, and it is on your screen right now. YouTube.com. You do have to put the @ symbol / watchyomouthreviews 833. So be sure to review it or subscribe. We appreciate you. I will see everybody on James' channel. Be there or be square, thugs. Adios.
That's right. See you.
Thank you, James.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.